Welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled to have you here today because we're diving into a totally radical idea that's fundamentally changing how we interact with artificial intelligence. Look, if you have spent the last couple of years trying to master the absolute perfect prompt, I've got some news for you. Traditional prompt engineering is already becoming obsolete. We're moving into an entirely new era, and this explainer is going to show you exactly why that is and how you can stay way ahead of the curve. Okay, let's dive right in.
So let me ask you this to kick things off. Have you been doing a job you didn't even know you had? Just think about every single time you've used AI recently. You open up your tool of choice, you type a prompt, and you wait. The answer comes back, so you read it, check if it's any good, fix the parts that aren't quite right, and you type again. And then when you come back the very next day, you have to explain the whole thing all over from scratch. You are unknowingly acting as the manual, highly caffeinated operator of a deeply tedious process. To get us out of that manual trap, here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, you are the loop. Second, enter loop engineering. 3. Watchers for products and jobs. 4. Hunters and builders. 5. The golden safety rule. And finally, 6. Deploy and walk away.
All right, let's start right at the beginning with Section 1. You are the loop. Manual AI operations.
Ask, check, fix, repeat. It's an exhausting cycle, isn't it? You ask a question, check the output, fix the mistakes, and repeat the whole thing. In this old model, you are the one deciding what to ask next. You're the one remembering what happened last time. You are the one deciding when the job is actually done. Every single one of those little administrative jobs falls right on your shoulders. Essentially, you were the loop. But that is exactly what's changing.
Which brings us to Section 2. Enter loop engineering, a new AI paradigm.
So what is this brand new, incredibly powerful concept actually all about? Loop engineering is a system where the AI keeps an eye on a situation for you, takes the next step completely on its own, remembers what it's already done, and only stops when the job is completely finished or when it genuinely needs your input. And here is the absolute best part. This requires zero coding. None. You don't need complicated AI jargon. It just requires a bit of patience, understanding how the AI's memory works, and setting clear boundaries. You're handing off the oversight, not just the task itself.
A good loop is built on answering just 5 simple questions up front. You just got to tell the AI, what should it watch? How often should it check in? What specific change is it hunting for? What should it do the exact moment that change happens? And, honestly, the biggest one, when should it stop and come ask you? It's really not magic. It's just establishing a rock-solid set of instructions so the AI knows exactly what its mission is, doing all that boring, repetitive watching that you and I are frankly terrible at.
Now, you might be thinking this sounds exactly like standard automation, like Zapier, but they really aren't the same thing at all. Automation is basically a dumb light switch. A form is submitted, it sends an email, it fires one fixed action, and then it's done. A loop, on the other hand, is a patient guard dog. It sits there asking, hey, did anything change? Did I already handle this? Is the job complete, or should I go alert a human? It actively watches until a situation is actually solved.
Let's look at some real applications. In Section 3, Watchers for Products and Jobs, Automated Oversight.
We've all painfully experienced trying to buy a highly coveted, sold-out product, right? Well, instead of refreshing a page like an absolute maniac for sneakers or concert tickets, you can just set up a product watcher loop. You give it super simple rules. If it's out of stock, do nothing. Wrong size or too expensive, do nothing. Only when it's a perfect match does it actually alert you. The AI runs quietly on a server every single hour of the day, checking the button, checking the price, and saving its memory so you don't get any false alarms. And crucially, it leaves that final purchase decision entirely to you.
Let's elevate the stakes a bit. Imagine using this same concept for your career. Say you want a job at a top AI lab like OpenAI, Anthropic, or Perplexity. You can actually build a job watcher loop that sends out 10 agents simultaneously. Instead of you checking these sites one by one every day, you just hit run, and boom, 10 agents fire off out onto the live web at the exact same time, pulling real openings straight from their boards at lightning speed.
And the real magic here is memory. The AI has to remember which jobs it's already shown you. Otherwise, it would just ping you about the same role every single day. So on every run, it quietly asks itself these questions. Is this new? Does it match the specific roles I care about? Have I shown them this already? Is it worth interrupting them for? What an absolute relief, right? It filters out all the noise, ignores the roles outside your criteria, and even drafts a personalized application note for the ones that actually fit.
That brings us to Section 4,
Hunters and builders, proactive AI agents.
Now we're escalating from simple watchers to loops that actively hunt for business opportunities and build complex projects for you. If you want a business, you're usually sitting around waiting for demand to find you. But an Opportunity Hunter loop acts as an automated lead generator. It scans the four corners of the internet: Reddit, X, funding announcements, tech press. It wires up separate scanners, goes out onto the open web, and reads what real people are posting right this minute. It might literally catch a Reddit post at 2 a.m. from someone practically begging for your exact services.
When it comes back, it hands you real opportunities. It ranks the signals from best to worst, drafts a personalized pitch for each contact, and, this is huge, it honestly reports when it hits a wall. This builds incredible trust. Unlike simple automation that just waits for a form to be filled, this loop hunts down demand before it ever hits your website, and it's totally transparent about its limitations if a source blocks it. That's the difference between a toy and a real business tool.
Now prepare for the jaw-dropping part, the builder loop. Take an app builder loop, like the Lumen template from Matthew Berman's online library. You don't even write this yourself. You point it at a rough placeholder design you have and point it at a website design you love. The AI builds a version, checks its own work against the standard, finds the weakest part, fixes it, and repeats. It grades and improves itself entirely on its own. Build, check, fix, repeat. It goes from a sketch to a fully polished, shipped design while you literally do absolutely nothing.
As amazing as that is, we need to pause for Section 5, the golden safety rule, protecting your assets.
Before you run off and automate your entire life, we really have to talk about the guardrails that prevent these autonomous systems from creating absolute chaos. I cannot emphasize this strictly enough. The more powerful the loop, the stronger your rules need to be. A loop can draft pitches, filter jobs, and remind you all day long, but anything that touches your money, your reputation, your customers, or anything legal gets a human gate. Period. It must always stop and ask you before doing anything risky. It never buys the shoe. It never clicks submit on the job application. It never sends the pitch to a stranger without your say-so. That rule right there is the difference between a loop that works for you and a loop that massively embarrasses you.
Finally, let's bring all of this together in Section 6, Deploy and Walk Away, the future of AI work.
The ultimate takeaway here is a massive AI mindset shift. Prompt engineering was just teaching us how to talk to AI. It was a chat. Loop engineering is the ultimate skill of handing off the work entirely. AI used to be something you talk to. Now it is a tiny worker that you deploy and then you just walk away from. You aren't doing the manual work anymore. You're setting the standard and letting the AI climb to it. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to ponder. A year from now, will the people who understood this early have AI quietly working in the background for them around the clock, or will you still be sitting there refreshing the page by hand? I highly encourage you to start building your first simple loop today. Just pick a simple stock watcher. Take control of your time and step into the future of how work gets done. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.
Thank you. Share and subscribe to Learn AI for more AI insights.